Hey, what's up, guys? Nick Pell coming to you once again with another book review. This week's book is Robert Geraci's Apocalyptic AI. Now, this is going to be a different type of review than I've normally done, just for the fact that this is not the typical novel that I review. This is more a book about ideas and why these ideas are relevant to human culture and society. And in some aspects religion and science. So the main things that I will be talking about in this review are the main points of this book, in which there are two that I've kind of gotten out of it, and then their benefits and their negatives, or I couldn't think of the opposite of benefit for some reason, so it's a negative, and then my overall enjoyment of the book. So let's begin. Alright, the first main point that the book brings up is the ability in the future for humans, by means of technology, to be able to upload their minds into computer-like systems. This would be very similar to the current Second Life online game that is out right now, in which you can literally, well, not literally, but you can live another life, but it's online. With Geraci's ideas and what he's saying in this book is that in the future our actual minds will be uploaded into computer systems, which will generate a lifelike space very similar to what you're seeing right now, just in front of your computer screen, or where around you, that will look almost identical to this right now, except it will be different in the sense that it's not real. And that's the main thing that you need to remember with that. Second main point that he brings up is the future of robots and robotics. This goes as far as having robot servants, to uploading our physical minds into robot-like systems. I see this as something of a parallel to the movie Surrogates with Bruce Willis, which came out a few years back, and it just kind of scares me in that aspect, but I'll get to that again in the negatives. Those are his two main points: the uploading our minds into an online world, and the robotics, in terms of either robot companions like androids, or uploading our minds into the physical robots. The benefits of each. I'll start with mind uploading. First main benefit of the virtual world is a new sense of health and happiness. In this world, there would be no disease. We would be able to live for almost an infinite amount of time, unless something outside that world took place, which caused the whole thing to crash. Like I said before, it would be a totally identical world. Just all the bad things that we can relate to in the modern society that we live in would be abolished, and our lives would, in a sense, be perfect. And I use that term lightly. Most likely the world outside would be run by some humans that choose to stay outside and kind of operate from the outside in. They would look for glitches, bugs, any type of influence or reason that something should be taken out. And as was said in the class I had to read this for, it could potentially be magical. It could be a new world. We could do virtually anything. So those are the benefits of the virtual reality and uploading our minds into that. But here are the negatives to it. First off, and most importantly, I think it's not real. There's nothing on this planet that can replace the physical human experience, and that is why I have an issue with this. If you try to replace that, you in some ways take away our humanity, and I don't really support that at all. No matter what the gain, I think the cost is more than what we would get out of it. There is also a threat of hackers and glitches and all that stuff. While we would have people on the outside kind of watching for that stuff, it could happen at any time, in any form. So even today with Anonymous and whatnot, people are getting, websites that should have the best security in the world are getting taken down, and that shows that with like our current best technology being able to be accessed and taken down, what could happen in the future. It just doesn't seem worth it. And one aspect that deals with religion is a loss of need for God. If we have a perfect society with no faults whatsoever, it would eliminate a need for a godlike figure in people's lives. I'm not much of a religious person myself, but I know people who are, and that is part of who they are in some ways. And you take that away, you take away the person themselves, and you change who they are in general. Alright, I'll talk about cyborgs and their pros and cons now. First off, the pros. We could, and this is somewhat going into the Android aspect of it too, similar to Deus Ex. A game came out last year. And we would be able to get, supposedly, with this new technology, and upload our minds into robots, or just like helping ourselves with new robot parts, we would be able to access new abilities. We'd have more strength, faster thinking ability, be able to run faster. I don't know, superhero abilities that right now are thought to be impossible, or just things out of comic books. We would have a longer lifespan, supposedly, without the need to rely on our internal organs. We would be able to theoretically live longer and be able to do a lot more as a result. And again, going into religion, we would become something of God's image, or a reflection of it, in that we could do almost anything that a godlike figure supposedly could do in almost every way. Obviously, there are going to be some things, like we can't lift tidal waves with our hand or something like that, but we could theoretically get really close to it. And now the negatives of this. First negative is that death's impact would be significantly diminished. Without death kind of being right behind us every day, and not needing to live life to the fullest, I feel like if we had immensely long lives, our willingness to do anything productive would go down as well, and that would just cause all kind of problems. While it'd be good to live forever, I think that the greatness of it would not seem as great in the long run. I feel like there would be a lot less morals and more violence with robotics, and more enhancement on our physical bodies if that stuff came into being. It's just human nature. If you have the biggest weapon or have the most power, you're going to want to test it against something. And the first enemy that offends you or does something that you don't like, you're going to attack and want to display that power and see how it fares against others. And if everyone uploads their minds into these Terminator-like robots, or we create an army of androids or become androids ourselves, this could potentially lead to not a nuclear war, but a robotic war, which would be cool looking from the outside in, but being a part of it, it would suck. And like with the last one, there would be less of a need for God. If we are godlike figures, there's no need to worship God or kind of praise Him, because we are, in a sense, equal to Him if we have everything that we need. So yeah, now I'm going to talk about enjoyment and how I enjoyed the book in general. So despite the fact that obviously I highly disagree with a lot of what Geraci says, I did enjoy the book for what it was. It presents a lot of ideas that have often been seen in past movies or comic books or television or any form of media. But it's recommended to keep in mind that while these ideas are really cool to imagine as a possibility, there are very strong negatives to them, which, if not taken into consideration when this stuff does eventually happen, which I'm not saying it won't happen, I think it will eventually, if the negatives are not taken into consideration, something very bad could occur. So yeah, I recommend it if you are interested in a realistic take on science fiction and its concepts, or are interested in any of Geraci's work or ideas. So yeah, that's my review. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe if you so choose. Let me know if you think I should um, do these kinds of reviews a different way next time, or if I should just keep doing them like I do, just kind of talk about the ideas. But yeah, as always, my name is Nick Pell, and also as always, keep on reading.